Some e-commerce brands let the one automated order confirmation email do all the talking. But that window right after purchase, and even in the weeks that follow, is a golden opportunity. Your customer just said yes to you. So now what? In this episode, I'll share how to turn a one-time buyer into a loyal fan with post-purchase emails that go far beyond the standard thank you. I'm Laryssa Worstieg, and for nearly a decade with my agency, Joya, I've been helping women-focused e-commerce brands grow with more intention, creativity, and clarity. We ditch the marketing formulas that don't feel like you and build strategies that actually connect. Before I dive into this week's episode, I want to share something you may or may not have noticed, depending on how closely you've been following this podcast or the Joya brand. Over the past month, I've been slowly zooming out from focusing solely on the jewelry industry and leaning more into email and SMS marketing, along with the broader strategy and ecosystem that supports them. If you've looked closely, you may have already seen the change. This podcast is no longer called the Joya podcast. It's now, drumroll please, Marketing with Laryssa. This shift comes after many months of deep reflection. I felt this intense pull to evolve, and I finally gave myself permission to step into what feels right for me and my business. Don't worry, Joya isn't going anywhere. I'm still running the agency with my team and continuing to support e-commerce founders who care deeply about storytelling and strategy. But I've also felt this strong desire to share more of my voice, to zoom out beyond jewelry and speak to a wider audience of purpose-driven, product-based brands. This podcast since 2018, can you believe it, has always been about thoughtful marketing. Moving forward, I wanted to reflect even more of who I am, what I believe when it comes to marketing, and the work I love most, helping these women-focused, story-driven e-commerce brands build real connection through strategy, creativity, and intention. If you've been with me for a while, I just want to say thank you. This evolution would not have been possible without the growth that we've experienced together. And if you're just joining now for the first time or you're new, welcome. You're right on time. All right, let me get into it. When a customer makes a purchase, your job is not over. In many ways, it's just beginning. So many brands spend tons of time, energy, and budget trying to get the sale, but they forget what happens next. The order confirmation gets sent, maybe a shipping notification, and that's it. That's the whole thing. But what if that moment right after someone buys is actually the best chance you'll ever get to deepen the relationship? Because here's what's happening in that moment. They're excited, they're paying attention, they're already emotionally invested, and your email and SMS marketing have the power to make that moment unforgettable. Before I go further, just a quick note on terminology here. When I say post-purchase emails, I'm not just talking about that automated order confirmation or the shipping notifications. Those are what are called transactional emails, and they're essential for keeping your customer informed. And actually, someone doesn't need to be opted into your email marketing list to receive those. Those are not considered marketing emails. What I'm focusing on here, mostly in this episode, are the marketing emails that come after the purchase, the ones that nurture, educate, and delight. These aren't required by any means, but they're the place where your brand can really shine and stand out. So what are most brands doing wrong? Here's what a typical post-purchase sequence looks like. Order confirmation, shipping notification, delivery confirmation, and then silence until the next campaign goes out, the next sale, the next promotion. All of these emails are important, but as I mentioned, they're purely transactional. They check a box. They get the job done, but they're not delighting, they're not surprising, they're not building connection. And that's a missed opportunity, especially if you're trying to increase retention, loyalty, and customer lifetime value. That first week or two after a purchase is prime real estate for creating a memorable brand experience. You've just built trust and they've taken a leap. Now's the time to validate their decision, reinforce your values, anticipate questions, build anticipation before delivery, invite them to come closer to your brand. And email and SMS are the perfect vehicles for that. So, what should you be including in a great post purchase flow? I want to talk about how you can delight with the post purchase experience. What can it look like beyond just logistics? So, I have some ideas for you to elevate the journey. My first idea is to say thank you and share more of your brand story. So, instead of something kind of generic, just like a thanks for your purchase, if you're a maker or a solopreneur or a small business, share a heartfelt message about what the purchase means to you or your business. Bonus points if it ties into your brand mission or founder story. Here's a small but meaningful detail that I think gets overlooked. Celebrate the purchase. I may have mentioned this before once on the podcast, but way back in the day, I worked as a sales associate at Macy's. And something that always stuck with me from our training at the register was this idea of celebrating the customer's purchase. I actually loved doing it because in that moment, in person at the register, I had to put myself in the customer's shoes. What did I think they loved about this item? What need may have it been fulfilling for them? And then I'd have to communicate something about that and get ready to share in their excitement. Like, oh my gosh, this dress is so gorgeous. It's going to be perfect for fall. And that moment of connection, that learning really stayed with me. And I think about it a lot when it comes to post-purchase emails. Because when someone buys from you, it's not just a transaction. For them, it can be a little moment of joy or even relief. Your emails can reflect that with warmth, enthusiasm, and a genuine celebration of their decision. Number 2, product education and tips. Help them get the most of what they bought, how to care for their item, how to style it, how to gift it. Give them a reason to open another email and feel good and empowered about the purchase and kind of know what to do next. Number 3, behind the scenes. What happens between the order and the shipping? Is something handcrafted, custom finished, ritualized in some way? Take them inside your process and add that layer of magic by bringing them inside. And again, getting them really excited to receive their package. Number 4, user-generated content and social proof. Now's the time to invite them, to tag you on Instagram, or check out how others are wearing their pieces. This builds community and subtly plants the seed for sharing their own story. Number 5, cross sells with care. Eventually, it's fine and even recommended to suggest complementary products, but do it in a way that feels like you're helping them complete a vision, a collection, a look, and less like you're just trying to push an opportunistic sale. So think styling suggestions here. And number 6, review or feedback requests. Once they've had the piece for a little while, follow up for a review. But instead of just saying, leave a review, you can explain how it helps. Maybe it supports your small business, helps others shop with confidence, or allows your team to grow. Or give an incentive. Maybe they get something out of it too, like a discount on their next purchase. Consider segmentation here too. So once you've mapped out your post-purchase emails, the next level is making sure they're not one size fits all. because not every customer needs or wants the same message. Segmentation can really help you here. For example, first-time buyers might need more education and reassurance and hand-holding than repeat customers. Someone who purchased a high-ticket item may expect a more elevated experience. Someone who's a repeat customer deserves acknowledgement of their loyalty. A customer who's bought a gift might appreciate different follow-up content than someone who bought for themselves. If your email platform allows it, consider segmenting your post-purchase flow based on things like purchase history, so first time versus repeat, product category or price point, time of year, like holiday gifting versus everyday shopping, geographic location, especially if it affects shipping or delivery timing. Even small tweaks like slightly different copy for new versus loyal customers can make your emails feel more thoughtful and personal. And the more relevant your emails feel, the more likely your customers are to stay engaged. What should you avoid though? Don't overload them with emails right away and all at once. Don't make it all about you. Focus on what they need. Don't immediately shove in another promotion. This isn't the time to start shouting sale. It's time to show up thoughtfully. All right, now that I have shared all that, I want to come back to transactional emails for just a moment. So earlier in the episode, I talked about how transactional emails, how they're different from post-purchase marketing automations. I referred to them and then just kind of glossed over them, but let's go back for a second. Every e-commerce brand should have them in place. They're functional and expected. They help your customers stay informed about the purchase. But just because they're standard doesn't mean they have to be boring. These emails are often some of the most opened in your entire post-purchase journey because they are so relevant and useful. So why not make the most of the attention that they do get? You don't have to overwhelm these emails with extras, but if you're able to customize them in your e-commerce platform, adding a little polish and personality can help reinforce your brand even in these less than expected places. Because every email, even the functional ones, is a chance to delight your customers. My mini challenge, one step forward this week, if you already have a post-purchase flow, go back and read it from your customer's perspective. Is it warm? Is it informative? Is it on brand? If you don't have one yet, pick just one email to start. Maybe it's the thank you. Maybe it's a product care guide, a fun, unexpected surprise. The opportunity here is really huge. Post-purchase is, in my opinion, a sacred moment in the customer journey. When someone chooses to buy from you, they're not just getting a product. They're saying, I trust you. I believe in your brand. I want to be part of this. How you show up next determines if that moment becomes a one-time transaction or the start of a long-term relationship. So go beyond the thank you and make it an experience worth remembering. Even a simple email can turn a buyer into a fan and a fan into a lifelong customer. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for even more tips.